everybody, welcome back to another Random Sam Epic Mom. Alright, so this one's a little bit different than usual. Not really a book review, not really craft. Thank God school is back in session. Now, I've got kids in every school level. I've got a high schooler, I've got a middle schooler, I've got some elementary school kids, I've got it all. I even got one kid that's out of school trying to figure out what he's going to do with his life, which is, God, he needs to figure it out. But that's beside the point. With the kids that are in school, it's a very big reality check of how different it was from when I was in school to what they're dealing with now. Now, my kids, when they're at school, and especially the middle school and the high school student, if they have to do a report for school for English or something, or homework and such, a lot of it is done on the computer. They have assigned laptops at school. And that's great and all. I'm glad that these kids are being taught technology and everything. But I think they're missing out on some stuff that really helped us out. Now, granted, the elementary kids are still doing spelling tests, which are great. But in today's world, if you have trouble with a word, you've got autocorrect. You got spell check. All that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my parents could be kind of a butthead. I think it's a parent's job to be a butthead at times. And they used to do this really mean thing where if I was trying to write a letter to grandma or I had to do a report for school and I didn't know how to spell a word, they'd make me sound it out and find it in the dictionary. Look at that, guys. Now, I tried to make a point the other day and I went to Family Dollar, I went to Dollar Tree, I went to Dollar General, because when I was younger, even when I was in college, you could go to any one of those little stores and in the magazine area, the stationery area, you could find a cheap dictionary. You could find thesaurus. And you'd figure in today's society you'd be able to go and find it. Maybe you can still do that in the bigger cities and such. I could not find it out here. It was driving me nuts. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be able to go and get one at... I couldn't do it. So I got one of these Webster Everyday Language Reference sets. Did not cost me that much online. It cost me 16 bucks. So it was not expensive, but these are great. For any of you watching out there who are young, too young to know what these are, let me explain. This is a dictionary. Very cool, right? And here's the thing. You open this up, you look up a word. It can be a word you already know how to spell. It could be a word that you're trying to figure out how to spell. Or just trying to find out if it's the right context of the word or a meaning of the word. Because you hear everybody using that word. Or you hear an adult using the word. You take this lovely thing. And I know you can still do this on like Google and such, guys. But you take this and there's no, imprint on the computer for them to check you. And you look it up and it says how to say the word, the correct spelling, and the meaning of the word. It's very cool. Now, source. This one's really cool if you want to get into writing or you have a very important report to do and you want to impress your teacher or something. This one, you can look up a word and it will have in there synonyms. Not only will it have what the meaning of the word, but it'll have substitute words that you can use instead. So you're not using the same word over and over and over again. Very useful. Now, when I was in school and we had to start doing reports, we had this crazy way of doing it. You had to write it out. And depending on what grade you were in, you either wrote it out in just plain handwriting, or as you got older, in some of your classes, you would be expected to do it in cursive. And for any of you who think I am being super sarcastic, I am. But in today's society, cursive handwriting is almost a code that younger people can't read. It's really funny. My kids have looked up some of my writing from when I was in college or such, or even just writing I did to my husband when he was in the military. And they can't read it because they can't read cursive. Of course, a couple of my kids love to write in cursive. They love cursive. So, it's a hit and miss there, guys. But here's the way it used to work. You'd write down your story, your report, whatever it was. You'd write it down. You'd have somebody, if you were in like late 4th, 5th grade, or even in middle school, you'd have the person sitting next to you proofread it. They'd look for any misspelled words, punctuation mistakes, any obvious mistakes that they might not check. And then you'd rewrite it. Then you'd have the teacher check it. And again, guys, this is all handwritten. And I mean, it is really cheap to get a notebook, composition notebook, spiral notebook, college rule, wide rule, does not matter. If you are doing reports, there are references, like you can do things like these huge expensive books that give you a whole bunch of information, just like other encyclopedias and such, and libraries that have great book references, so that you're not using just the internet. But my point is this: when we were writing, you had the person sitting next to you or another classmate check your writing. Then you rewrote it. And while you're rewriting it, you're catching some of those mistakes. Then you have a teacher proofread it. Proofread, that means that you have another person going over it. Then, after the teacher goes through it, you're going to correct all those mistakes. The final time you're going to be doing this is when you take a written down final draft. You would go to a computer, and again, if you're lucky enough to have a computer at home, you could do it at home. If you weren't lucky enough to have a computer at home, because not everybody, back when I was a teenager, could afford a computer, you do it at school on class time or during your free hour. And you would bring up a Word document, type it up. Even back then, we did have spell check. Sometimes they would check for the punctuation. Not always, though. And you type that up. And as you were typing, you would be rereading it as you typed to make sure that the sentence flow was good. Now, I know this is coming off as very sarcastic, because I'm being very sarcastic. But the point is this, guys. There are some words today that I will never misspell when writing something out, because I had to go through the looking them up in the dictionary, having to fix them on a report because I kept spelling it wrong. It had a little bit more impact on me because I had to do that extra step. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with just using the computers, but my handwriting is 10 times better than my son's handwriting, who is 19. I have so much better penmanship. My daughter, who does a lot of writing, notes and such, my handwriting is so much better than hers, and I don't do a lot of writing in it. I always admired my big sister's handwriting. The point is this: we're losing a lot of skills because we have the convenience of technology. And we use, in today's society, a lot of abbreviated stuff. Texts, slang, I guess is the way you do. LOL, BRB, all that. And for a lot of people, they'll know how to do it. But the point is this: when you had to write reports or stories and such, and if you are an author or a budding author or anybody who likes to write, being able to write something down in a story form using handwriting, whether it is print or cursive, it gives you a better flow. It lets you kind of have your own voice come out. And something a lot of people don't realize is that the amount you're going to write on a page is not going to type up as much on a Word document. And it gets your ideas out there. It helps you go back over them. It helps you, even if you just write it once down and then type it up, it's going to give you that flow. It's going to let you double check things. And I think we need to put it out there so that kids know that we have these type of references. I love the fact that I can pull up my phone, bring up Google, and look up information. I can look up where the nearest restaurant is that has gluten-free options. I like that if I'm traveling to go see somebody, I can see where's the nearest rest stop, or how far out is the next gas station, or the nearest hotel, or how long I am from point A to point B. I think that's great. I'm not saying don't use technology, guys, but there's a lot to be said about the old-fashioned way of doing things. Being able to look something up has a little bit more impact. Being able to write things down is gonna be a little bit more impactful. And for any of you guys out there, I think this will probably hit the girls more than the guys. There are lots of colorful notebooks, different colors. You've got designs on them. You can decorate them. This is private. We don't think about it very much. As kids, we thought about, oh God, somebody's going to read my diary or something. Or somebody's read my notebook if I get it lost. But once you put something on a computer, it can be hacked. It can be stolen. Your thoughts can be accidentally emailed to somebody else. This is kind of a security of, hey, this is mine. If I keep this in my possession, if I keep this in my house, it's less likely somebody's going to read it. So I hope this is giving you guys some ideas. Whether you are a parent who is getting very frustrated with your children, or you are a kid out there who is getting frustrated and just hates school. There are options of being way to do better. If you are struggling, try this old-fashioned way. Maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. But give it a try. Again, go out there, get a dictionary. Thesaurus. Go get it. They have encyclopedias. Guys, libraries have so many references. My house happens to have a ton of history books. We have books on computer operating systems that are old. We have language books. We have trivia books. There are a lot of things out there that's not just on the internet. And I hate to disparage technology, guys, but a lot of information on the internet has countering information that might say, oh, this isn't a fact, or this one. So you're going to get a lot of differing information. So check your facts. Check to make sure that your that autocorrect spell checker, they might spell check the word or put in the correct spelling of a word, but it might not be the exact word that you were meaning to use. A lot of people have problems with that. Autocorrect is a pain in the butt sometimes, guys. Sometimes we don't mean to say duck. And I hope this gives you guys some ideas. I hope if you are a parent out there, this is kind of giving you a trip down memory lane. And you appreciate how much trouble we had to go through, how much of a pain in the butt it is, and how maybe your kids should have to feel a little bit of our pain. And maybe they'll appreciate it. I don't know, guys. Please give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Again, everything, guys, from a simple tiny notebook to write down your to-do list for the day, to ideas for a story, to what research materials you might need, helps. Working on not just using Google would be a good idea, guys. Finding encyclopedias, looking up reference books, they're going to make a big difference. I know it doesn't seem like it right now, but they will. And I hope you guys are getting out there doing it, and hopefully you guys will not have chicken scratch handwriting like my kids do. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Please check out our other videos already on YouTube. And give us a like and subscribe. And if you hit that bell for notifications, you'll know when we put something new out. So try to make every day matter by finding the fun. You guys have a great one. Bye.